It's early. I'm up. I got some tea. This is some iced tea. I actually, my cat loves herbs. This tea was made as a hair dye. So I did dye my hair with it, but I had so much of it left that I ended up putting some in the refrigerator. It's been in the refrigerator for a month or more now. Just blending the flavors together. I honestly couldn't even tell you what's in here. I know I put fresh raspberries in here. I put some dry elderberries, some raspberry leaf, I have no idea. I have to go back to try to see what I put in it. But it's a really good mixture of all these different herbs that I use to dye my hair. So I just took some out the refrigerator, put it in this cup, and put some mulberry simple syrup that I made with organic cane sugar. It's pretty good. Wish you could see the color. It's the same color as this outfit that I have on, which is pretty cool. It's really good. The simple syrup really makes all the difference. Before I put the simple syrup in, it was basically just like water with herbs, which is what tea is, but it was basically just water with herbs, and it just tasted like herb water. But once I put the simple syrup in there, the mulberry flavor is really nice, and the sugar helps just balance out to make it seem more like a drink for me, since I'm still used to like sugary drinks. All right. Oh, I kind of seen something interesting. So I bought this book the other day from the Goodwill. On my list that I keep on my phone, that I just write things down, I wrote that I wanted a book of inspirational quotes. I'm not sure if these quotes are inspirational. This book is called it's called Uncle John's Bathroom Reader, Colossal Collection of Quotable Quotes. So the whole point of me wanting to find a book on quotes, I was really inspired by the movie A Wrinkle in Time. It's this character on A Wrinkle in Time. I want to say her name Doctor Who, but I really don't know exactly her name. There's this character on A Wrinkle in Time who only speaks in quotes, and at the time I watched the movie, as well as now, I still think it's the dopest thing ever. I actually was watching a TV show last night. I was watching Dynasty, and it was this lady who came onto the show. It was her first time appearing on the show, and she didn't speak all in quotes, but I did notice that she was speaking quotes, and then she said some quote, and then she said Einstein after it. So that led me to believe that she was doing something similar. Just something that I'm interested in. These are not inspirational quotes. Doesn't matter though. I'm sure I can find inspiration inside of something in here. And this book was like $1. This is nice. Okay. The most important thing in the world to me now is being a kind person. I don't think there's anything more hardcore than being loving. That was from, I hope I pronounced her name right, Flea or Flea, of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I know of the group. I don't know of the person, but just reading this quote, the most important thing in the world to me now is being a kind person. I don't think there's anything more hardcore than being loving. Okay, so like the first part of the quote, I think that it's very important to be a kind person. At one point in my life, I wasn't a kind person. I still have some unkind tendencies, but the more that I learn and the more that I find out different things, I know that it is essential that I live my life in my own truth and that I'm kind while living in my own truth. So, something the universe dropped on me recently, that I was giving a tarot reading to my friend, and she's a Libra as well. So I felt like she may struggle with the same things that I struggle with. I wanted to let her know of this quote. So I was telling her, like, it's actually in my journal. I wish I knew the exact quote, but it's something about you can be honest and kind at the same time. Something very similar to along those lines. So that's important to me, because a lot of times I feel like in order to speak my truth that I have to like be aggressive or, you know, stand 10 toes down. Like, I don't know, like it's just this, these feelings that I get when having to speak my truth. Because I do understand, and I'm sure most people understand, that my truth and your truth are two different things, and that's okay. You absolutely can have your truth, and I absolutely can have my truth of the same situation, and they both be valid. So at the same time as like being truthful, you just want to be kind. Especially something I had to learn in tarot, because not that tarot is not kind, but my deck does not sugarcoat anything. My intuition does not sugarcoat anything. So it's a struggle for me to receive the guidance from the cards and to receive the guidance from my intuition and translate that guidance to my client, because I have to actively listen to the guidance that I receive. I gotta be mindful about the guidance I receive in order to connect with the person in a way in which they can understand the guidance. Because I can give you the guidance all day, but if I give it to you in a way in which you can't understand it, or it came off so aggressive that it was hard for you to accept, then we have a problem. So it took me a long time, still working on it, 3 years into working. First I had to accept that I wasn't a kind person, or that, not that I wasn't a kind person, that I wasn't, how do I phrase it? I wasn't doing things in a kind way. I may have kindness inside of me, but you know, like, the world is so tough and so hard that a lot of times we put up all these walls and different things to not let people in. So for me, I guess it was breaking down all the walls that I had built up over the years and things, in order to be able to express my true self. Because I don't feel like, because I definitely feel like the kindness was inside of me. I just wasn't able to access it because, you know, a lot of things happen to you growing up. So I definitely agree with the first part of the quote. Don't drink my tea, bruh. I definitely agree with the first part of the quote. And then for the second sentence, I don't think there's anything more hardcore than being loving. So again, just to touch on what I was saying about, the world being so hard, and making you put up walls so that we think we're protecting ourselves. And in some point, maybe at the beginning, we are protecting ourselves, but I do feel like in the end, it just making more work for us. So I think definitely like accepting that I wanted to change, and then, well, I guess first being aware that there's an issue, being aware that I'm not being kind, being aware that I'm not acting of my divine status. At the time, I didn't even know what divine meant. So, you know, I preach that knowledge is power. I read a lot. I encourage reading. Sometimes my friends text me and say that they're going through something. I will send them a book in the mail, because I don't borrow out my books anymore. You'll never get them back. But reading and educating yourself is so important, because I really believe that when you know better, you do better. So, know better so that you can do better and do the right thing every day. I know that may sound impossible. It may sound weird. It sounded impossible at a time, at a point in my life, for me to think, okay, like a year ago maybe, I had a doctor's appointment about my feet, and my doctor told me that in order for my feet to get better, I needed to stop eating meat. And I was like, no, never. What else can I do? And that was the only option he gave me. He did give me a referral to see a specialist, but that doctor, that was the only option he gave me, was to stop eating meat. And at the time, I was just like, no, it's not gonna happen. I guess I'm gonna have to get my feet cut off. I'm never gonna be able to walk again. Just negative thoughts. And then it came to a point in my life where I did stop eating meat. Currently I'm pescatarian, so I do still eat seafood. The funny thing is, he actually didn't tell me to stop eating meat. He actually told me to be a pescatarian. And I told him, like, I don't even like, only seafood I like is shrimp, which is why I eat shrimp like 6 out of 7 days a week. But I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. He told me to be a pescatarian, and at the time, I was just like, that's not possible. I can't be a pescatarian. But just having the knowledge that this was going to help me, I guess. It was a long journey for me becoming a pescatarian, but I definitely think that everything works in divine timing, and the doctor telling me that I needed to be pescatarian was like one of my first steps in awareness. So don't think that a quote such as doing the right thing every day is a hard thing to try to take on, because take things day by day. I'm not asking you to think about a whole week in the future, a decision that you're going to make. I just mean be mindful, be present every day when you're in situations. And like my cat, obviously I'm trying to make a video right now, but he wants me to rub him, and I love him, so I want to give love to him. So although I'm multitasking and I keep forgetting my thoughts because my cat is almost really ready to chew on my feet, you're just going to be mindful of things that are going on every day in situations, and think before you act, and say, how can I do the right thing? And what is the right thing for me to do? Don't ask nobody else, because the right thing for somebody else is absolutely not the right thing for you. Please don't bite my feet. It's absolutely not the right thing for you. So it all depends on like your personal goals, your aspirations, where you want to be in life, things that you want in life, the person that you want to be. All of these things help you figure out what it means to do the right thing every day to you. So that's just my little morning rant. I really didn't have any plan for today's video. I forgot what the quote said already, but it is very tough to do things out of love, especially when things and situations are brought to you that are not within love. It's hard for you to bring yourself back to a place of love and all that is physical going on, because like spiritually you can be like, I am love and I give love and I'm nothing but love. But then if a situation arises and you react out of anger, that's not love. So just taking a moment, being mindful, thinking before you speak, thinking before you act, really figuring out, is this a good decision to me? Am I acting out of love? One thing that I wrote down for June that I really want to focus on is making decisions out of love and not fear. I got really bad anxiety, and 9 times out of 10, my first instinct is to react out of fear. So again, mindfulness, taking the time to think, taking the time to figure out what it is you want to say or how it is you want to respond, and letting people know, I just need a minute to process. I just need a minute to process. A lot of times people say that your intuition is your first thought. But sometimes in this physical world, we are trained to cut off. I'm not going to go into all of this, but we're trained and we got like food and different things that we put in and on our body that disconnects us to our intuition and our third eye. So understand that your first instinct very well may not be the best thing for you or of your intuition, or it just may be I don't know how to phrase this, but it just may not be right. Okay, sometimes we have a lot of pain and hurt and things left inside us from our parents, from our grandparents, from our ancestors, and we may react out of I don't know what the word I'm looking for. We may react because of a wounded ancestor. Does that make sense? Just think before you act. Understand that your intuition is something that it takes time to get back in tune with. But the more that you practice mindfulness and the more that you stop and think before you speak or you act, the better your connection with your intuition will be, to the point where your first thought will start being of your intuition and not of wounded ancestors and pain and trauma and different things like that. Okay, it's early. I haven't talked your head off. I have to get some fruit inside me so that I can go to work and have a great day. So I just want to leave you with a little prayer. I don't normally pray in public just because it's something that's private and personal to me. So I do apologize if you're not able to fully hear my prayer. But something that I have been working on is trying to pray every day, not necessarily for something, but just to let my gods, goddesses, the universe, everything and everyone that I believe in know that I am thankful and I am grateful for everything that they do for me, have done for me, and plan on doing for me in the future. So that's kind of where my prayers come in. All right. God, Asad, Asar, Haru, the elders, Ra, Jah, Buddha, Allah, Jah, Jehovah, Spirit God, Spirit Ancestors, Spirit Angels, please come to me. Please bless me with the divine guidance that I need so that I can become the best divine being that I can be. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for covering me with your blood. Thank you for watching over me. Thank you for everything that you have done, will done, and do for me currently. In the set of our and whose name I pray, I say amen. I say amen. Juji. What you want from your mama? Alright, making good time and bud. I do have to find me something to eat, Juji.